Actually, it's pretty plain and obvious to see. A necklace that is encrusted with jewels and with kind of almost exotic beading, kind of peeks out of her coat, and she quickly again sees it and stuffs it back kind of underneath her.
Is that a pet?
A pet? What's a pet?
Might have been one of those lizards that got escaped.
Oh no today's So you guys were all talking about battle strategy. She quickly tries to change the subject.
Oh no, we were finished with that. Do you know that I once heard that cheese cures all ailments and that it will prevent you from dying? Wait a minute, cheese.
Only the green cheese.
It looks like we're at the right place.
Sorry, that was funny. Siegfried just says, so, just out of curiosity, would it happen to cure mental things?
Well, it may be hearsay, but recent studies that I've read over have said that cheese cures all.
Maybe some cheese would be in order then.
Is that something that you suffer from, Siegfried?
Not really, just mental exhaustion and being around, traveling as a bard, you run into many things that can exhaust one, very much so physically and
Well, how many places have you been to? I haven't been to too many.
all around. I've traveled far and wide, many places. Far past where Samael comes from, round the rivers and such. Never directly into the war, however. The name escapes me for the moment, but a few of the very close border clouds, as well as one of the base of the houses that trained much of the armies that were sold off to the areas around to participate in the war when it was ongoing. And I'd rather not get into that too much. Siegfried just kind of starts to shudder and blinks out a bit, just looking at the table.
All throughout the central cities, I've actually heard tales of Siegfried being spread around, just, in passing, him coming through, him performing. I've actually seen him perform twice live. And in one of the shows, it was actually so large that I could not see him. I just had to take it on good faith that Siegfried was there.
Please, Siegfried, tell us some of your performances.
He shakes. Yes, performances. I usually do my own personal things. I used to perform around with my parents when we first got here, and we went around and did performances, both musical as well as plays of sorts. Many roles I played. I actually, embarrassingly enough, was known as a child performer for a while, but about before the morning happened, and very active, and after I just simply needed a break, recuperate myself, let the world get a bit in order before a bard started presenting himself again, let the grieving come to an end a bit, but I play the viol, always looking for new instruments, but the viol is my favorite. I actually picked up the orcish war drums as well, so I know how to play that, though I don't have any on me. Occasionally I still do a few plays, but just have been a bit soul-searching lately.
So, Nicholas, what seems to be the nature of your business here?
Well, I'm gonna look around and see if I see anybody.
You can make a perception check.
Okay.
Tara's also kind of looking around to see if she sees it.
The many workers within the tavern that seem to be all milling about. They don't seem to be paying any attention to you. One of them adjusts several tables over from you, appears to be adjusting one of those boxes that's centered in the center of the round tables, and is playing with the helmet. One of the helmets seems to be sort of keeps falling off of its cradle, and watch after a while he just takes the whole thing off, and then walks back towards the kitchen area. And also glancing around the room, you see the man is still speaking to Gelf, who is continuing to pace on the top of the bar, the L-shaped bar. But no one appears to be paying your table hardly any attention at all at the moment.
Well, Samuel, and I'm gonna lean in close.
I'm gonna lean in close too, but I'm gonna have a look on my face like I'm amused by it.
I was sent here on a mission. I was supposed to retrieve Dimble and escort him to the drop-off point for House Leodar. Except Dimble's missing, so I assume whatever he was into got him captured for his knowledge. So, that being said, there's a bigger plot here, and I think Dimble's in more danger than we assume.
Who sent you?
I can't tell, but I'm pretty sure it's House Leodar.
Okay.
Strange. Usually that kind of stuff would come through my house as well. But fair enough.
What is your house?
No, I'm but the house where all bards usually extend from, well, elvish bards at least.
Which is?
Come now, none of you all should know what house that is by now.
Siegfried,
I'm afraid not, friend. I don't know much past soldiering.
Siegfried, where is your mark located?
It would be on his right pectoral, so I guess they wouldn't necessarily.
Yeah, so they wouldn't necessarily know what you were referring to.
Well, yes.
But if you're saying that you're part of a house, then that would definitely be familiar to the entire group. The dragon-marked houses are well known throughout Corvair and Eberron.
Oh, fine. I thought it was obvious that an elf bard would be part of the House of Phileas, where most elf bards are part of. A network of bards, all the tales and such of tavern talk usually circulates.
It's actually pronounced Philarin.
Siegfried says Phileas, but fine, Philarin.
You have to forgive me, friend. I'm afraid I've never been much for tavern talk. No offense to you, but I've always been too busy working, it seems.
Well, the bards would, at one point, most likely even work with your church. I mean, we do have a lot of valuable information from things we do over here, and they do seek bards for questions on some undergoings that may happen in taverns, where many taverns have sketchy business happen.
Well, you are correct in that. We actually have bards that are in the employ of the church, specifically for that reason. It's just I've never actually been a part of that entire process. I've more been on the battlefront.
The waiter heads back over towards your table and he says, is everything all right? Are your drinks okay?
Yes. What's the status on our cheese?
Oh, your cheese. I apologize, sir. I didn't realize that you had ordered cheese. I will retrieve it right away. And he
It's
turns around.
okay. I yelled it like a commoner. I apologize. Just sampling of whatever you think is best represents your establishment will be fine.
And he turns around. He says, right away, sir. I'll be right back. And he heads back towards the kitchen.
Siegfried just tries to now hide in his seat. The social interaction over.
So, Byron, what's your story? You seem to be a pretty straightforward, just regular guy, but I noticed the Counselor Ruitt showed you quite a bit of respect for just an everyday man.
Well, I'm just a local man, and he comes by and he likes to be friendly with all the people that are. I just try to stay and do my little thing, whatever Lydia needs mostly.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's impressive for such a large city for the Counselor to know you by name, though.
Well, a few people know me around here.
Do you normally go out and do odds and ends, traveling about, getting errands done, things?
Only for Lydia. Recently she just had me going on more errands. I think she's trying to keep me away from Linda, but yeah, I don't really understand. We're a great couple.
Yeah, you seem to be. I noticed she didn't ask you as much as she commanded it of you, not to be rude.
Well, what do you think in-laws are for? It's future mother-in-law there. Hey,
Yeah. Well,
that
she'll come
impression.
around eventually.
We got to keep that impression going. It's only been 3 years. Yeah.
3 years is quite a long time.
Oh yeah. Well. She's going to school. She's at the academy and she's learning all the things that she can at the university and I want to make sure that she's able to do what she wants to do in life. That's important.
Are you going to make a great husband?
Well, I hope I do. It's trying to learn from other people that are married. That when they tell me what happens, but I'm trying.
Byron, I will tell you about marriage when you tell me why you wouldn't trouble the counselor about your mother-in-law's business with me.
It's the mother-in-law's business, not his business. He's a busy man. There's many things that he's worried about. He doesn't need to be worried about my little thing. See,
But
I
he
just
can help us.
get over to the bar, keep over here, get 10 pounds of meat, and just, I'll take it over there and she'll be happy for a day.
It is impressive that he was so quick to jump into action, though, just because he heard that you had a problem.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He could help you.
I don't want to burden him. He's, we've known each other for many years. It's all good.
Well, Byron, you handle your business as best you see fit, but I will say it is impressive that you're so well known.
Oh yeah, there's a few places I am, and but above, I'm not known at all. But in this little area, I might be known.
Well, that's good. That's good. It's, nice.
But my father knows more people.
Who's
He knows almost everybody in the area.
The waiter
Who's your father?
very, very quietly walks up to you and excuses himself for interrupting, and he slides a tray in front of in the middle of the table with a very large chunk of cheese that seems to have some sort of waxy paraffin protecting on it. And he takes a knife and he begins slicing it. And he passes plates to each of you, and he begins slicing and very deftly taking the cheese and placing it on your plates.
You just sliced right through it?
Yep, slice right through it.
I don't know if y'all understand how impressive that is, but if you've ever cut a wax cheese with a knife, that man has skill.
Yeah, he's very well built. This man looks very very well built for someone who's working a waiter in a tavern. He's got a really really strong looking wrist, and his biceps are pretty thick.
He got a tattoo: "Live by the cheese, die by the cheese."
Siegfried quickly gobbles up his piece as if his life depended on it.
It has a bit of a tangy, like a spice to it when you bite into the cheese, and it almost melts the moment it hits your tongue.
How you feeling there, Siegfried? Feeling any better?
Uh, I'm okay. Just enjoying the cheese.
Well, maybe it'll take a minute for his cheesiness to kick in.
Is there anything else that I can get for any of you?
No, you've been great. Thanks.
All right, well, if you need me at all, please call. My name is Trevor.
Thanks, Trevor. You're a good man.
Oh, thank you. You're too kind. And he walks away.
I'll break a small piece of my cheese off and give the rest to Siegfried. Here you go. That might help you some more.
It's fine. It may not actually do anything else. So please enjoy yourself.
Oh, no, I don't eat much. Yeah. So, how's the cake?
So I pass out the cake to everyone. All right, have a bite, everyone, and then we probably should be on our way.
Yeah, we gotta get
Where to?
Oh, we were supposed to meet the few people at the Great Sword. Were we not?
Oh, you
Just a
mean
little
the
bit
City of
of
the Dead? I'm sorry, we're going where?
to the Great Sword, the pub, the Great Sword.
Oh, what are we doing there?
We were supposed to meet the gentleman there. Remember?
I'm sorry, I either wasn't there for that or I didn't notice.
Isn't Justin at the Grey Sword?
Okay, well, let's go.
Well, let me drop some meat off at the shop, and I'll be back.
Sure thing.
I don't think it was Justin at the Gray Sword. It was High something. I believe we were invited, but by I think Nicholas's friend to the Gray Sword or whatever it was, since we could not make a party he was going to.
Ah,
Oh, we're meeting that one guy tonight,
Volo.
Volo.
y'all excuse me. I'm gonna watch Bart as he takes that meat across
Oh,
to the store.
yes, the one I gave advice to take it easy. So
It is pretty early, though. Do we want to do anything else before we head that way?
the same advice I gave him. There's nothing wrong with relaxing a bit sometimes and taking it at your own pace.
Well, it's been a bit of a weird day so far, and we're just getting started. When Byron takes that meat across the street, let's all go outside as well and wait for him.
Sounds good.
I'll go buy about 20 pounds of meat and drop it off over at the cake shop.
I'm gonna drink my entire ale in one big gulp and down my cheese in one big bite. I'm gonna get up, slam the mug on the table, and start heading towards.
Everyone except for Byron, make a perception check.
Siegfried is too busy shaking in his boots from the slam to notice anything.
You can't hide from vengeance.
Nice.
A natural 20 and a natural 1.
And the far east corner of the tavern, in an area that is not lit by an Everlight lantern, Samael and Nicholas, you see what looks like one of the waiters is seated at one of the round tables, and he has one of those helmet devices that's attached to the device in the center of the table over his head. And you just see him sort of rocking back and forth and occasionally making a ducking motion. And you can hear him muttering to himself.
I'm going to activate my divine sense.
Okay.
Is there anything inherently evil about this man?
You don't sense anything inherently evil. He appears to be a man.
Oh, no, I don't care. Let's leave.
Byron, as you head to the bar, you see that Gelf is continuing his conversation and has been for quite some time with Counselor Root, and you hear the counselor say, "Gelf, I know all about your connections. I know where you come from. I don't care. I really don't care. What I do care about are rumors that I've been hearing about you in regards to the Boromar clan. And rumors that I've been hearing about you and the Skyway. I know that you want to take your business to the Skyway, and I have told you repeatedly that removing your business and moving it there is bad for this district. It's bad for this ward. You're the only tavern in this area. You've made it that way. There were more. Certainly if you left over time, I'm sure that the vacuum that you created will definitely draw in more businesses, but that'll take some time, and the council is not going to give you what you are asking for. I don't care. I don't care about the other councilors' connections to the Boromar clan. I care about the well-being of my people within this ward. The people of Middle Dur. That's what I care about." And he turns and he looks at you, Byron, as you're standing at the counter. And Gelf looks down and he says, "Oh, it's you again." "Yeah. Byron, I assume you're here for Lydia's delivery?"
Yes, 20 pounds of meat.
"Oh, fine. Trevor, will you please
Good
go
meat,
into
this-
the kitchen and get something for this man, please? I don't care
Good
what it
meat,
is. It
please.
can be it can be the table scraps. You can just grab some meat from whatever we're using today. I don't care."
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
And Trevor looks to Gelf and he says, "Really? Okay." He turns around and he heads in to the kitchen and comes out immediately with a package that's looks like a linen almost paper that's wrapped in twine. And he says, "You might want to get this somewhere cold. It was sitting on the line back there. I don't want it to. I would hate if it were to turn quickly."
I'll smell it. Does it smell all right?
Make an investigation.
Would that be survival or investigation?
Actually, yeah. Roll a survival. It smells okay. Feeling the package in your hand, it does feel room temperature.
I can tell if it's what kind of meat.
Well, it's
Like
currently
the
wrapped
venison.
up. It's currently wrapped up in a package. So smelling the meat, it smells to you like beef.
Okay.
Like you pick up hints of the animal's blood and fat. And he looks to you and he says, "It hasn't been processed yet. Kitchen didn't do anything to the meat to preserve it except for a little bit of salt."
That sounds like a good deal.
And Trevor hands the package over to you, and then he turns, he looks at Gelf, and Gelf says, "What are you staring at me for? Get back to work."
Thank you, as always. And I'll leave with the meat.
And as you start to walk away, Counselor, he says, "Hold a moment. Gelf, I'll be back with you in a moment.
How can I help you?
Byron, I know that you're a private person, and I know that you don't preferably like to keep that way, and I know that you don't want to talk about what's going on with you, but I've known you for years, and I know when you are Byron and when you are acting not like Byron. If there's anything that I can do for you, anything at all, if you need help with Justin, you only need to ask."
Well, I think we'll be fine. Everything's under control. But I appreciate your concern, and you've always been a good friend.
Well, I will leave you to it then. And he turns his attention back to Gelf, who has hopped off of the counter now and is now rushing away from the counter. He is yelling at the man in the far corner of the restaurant. "What the hell are you doing? You're not on a break." And he rushes across and reaches up and hops up onto the table and grabs the helmet that's on top of the man's head and yanks it off. And the man goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." "What am I paying you for? I'm not paying for you to have your jollies and reliving the past. Get back to work." The man almost falls out of the chair, getting up and rushing back to his duties at one of the other tables, grabbing up chairs that he spilled over as he ran towards it. Gelf rests the helmet back onto the cradle, and then he begins walking back towards the bar.
Siegfried finishes his cheese and drinks and stands up and moves after Sam.
I already know what you're thinking. Let's wait till we get back to the church later. I'm going to inquire about the nature of what's going on here. And then we'll come back and make a judgment then.
Yes, maybe it'll be a bit quieter, but it seems weird, but not terribly out of place for a...
I'm going to put a reassuring hand on Siegfried's shoulder. I'm like, it's all right, bud.
Siegfried jumps over. Thunder, just thunder, just thunder. It's not war, just thunder. Deep breaths.
You'll be okay. Take your mind off of it. Come on.
I take it you're leaving the tavern then?
Yes, we're leaving the tavern.
Yes, and Zara puts the money on the table and paid for the rest of the drinks and the...
Something doesn't seem right about that, guys, but the counselor's in there. He's going to be able to handle any situation in there right now better than we can. I'm going to look around and see if I can figure out what's going on with that lady.
Same well.
Yeah, it was good.
Well. Did you see the man wearing the helmet? Did you see
I did, but I didn't notice anything weird about him. Wow, what did you see?
Well, I'm not quite sure. Something about living the past. I don't know if those helmets make you see, hallucinate. I don't know, but something weird is going on in there.
I agree with you completely.
As a bard that's been in taverns, could I roll a history to see if I know anything?
Yes, you may. Roll history. You have heard of, in your travels, taverns using devices similar to what you saw. They are essentially a programmed illusion built into a helmet that has audio and visual. Some are used mostly for entertainment. You've never experienced one yourself, but from what you have heard, Siegfried, these are mainly used as devices for entertainment that taverns, essentially you get like an allotted amount of time with one of